Hello. It looks like Cheryl is here. Cheryl, how in the world do you move into your new place and show up on time? That's pretty good. Good job, hon. Well, hello, everybody. There's our other Cheryl. Cheryl with an S, Hogan. It is so good to see you. So we'll let a few people come on in and we'll be ready. But it's so good to see you. I had an exciting day yesterday. So I decided to change our program tonight. And I think you'll understand why once you hear about my day. I also cut my hair. I couldn't take it anymore. And that also relates to something that had yesterday. So, okay, hi. So here, let me see. Let me get this. I thought we would sit and sew and chat tonight. And I will try to get busy. With the program for next week. So it is so humid here. In fact, right now we're having a thunderstorm outside. Can't even see out the windows. It's all like hazy out there. So, all right. Yeah, I took a shower this morning and I thought I can't take my hair anymore. So I used my sewing snips and cut it and then had Mark cut the bottom. Annette, hello, honey. Diane, 57. Well, would y'all like to hear about my day yesterday? Now, I hope you brought some hand sewing with you because I thought we could hand sew and just talk about our lives a little bit. So let me find where I left off. I saw some thread. So that's always a good sign. And there's still a needle with it. It's my lucky day. So, okay. So now I put my little thimble on. Hi, Linda McCollum. Nice to see you. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Normally we do an art quilt on Thursdays or landscape quilt, but I had a fun little event yesterday, and I thought all I'm up to is sitting and sewing and chatting. So we're just going to have a relaxing time. Hello, Alexis. Your laptop didn't arrive. I'm sorry, sweetie. I know you were looking forward to that. Well, if you've heard anything about politics lately, somebody's slowing down the mail. So it might take you a while to get it. So, you're getting back to embroidery. Good. All right. So I'll tell you about my little day. I went to the doctor August 5th, and she said, well, anything new you want to talk about? And I almost brought this subject up, but I thought maybe I had dreamt it. Well, let me tell you about that. So what that was is one morning I got up to go tinkle, and I thought, something feels weird. Like something just felt off. And then all of a sudden I got a little nauseous and my lower back hurt. I thought, well, this is odd. What is this about? So I went back to bed, and when I woke up, I was fine. So I had totally forgotten about it. It was kind of like in the wee hours of the morning. Kind of forgot about it. And then later I said, I think I might have dreamt something, but I dreamt I felt really bad when I got up, but then evidently nothing came of it, so I must have been dreaming. So Mark's like, well, that's odd. So Tuesday night, I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning working on my new little grandson's quilt, which I so wanted to have off the frame today. It's so close. One more pass, and it's off the frame. I couldn't get it done in time tonight. I apologize, because I was going to show you that. So anyway, because hopefully it'll be gone by Sunday, but I at least wanted to show it to you. But I'll take some good pictures. So anyway, I had worked till 1:30 in the morning. Before I went to bed, I felt that strange sensation somewhere where you tinkle. It's like somebody had outlined my tinkler. And sorry if this is TMI, but anyway, I thought just in case any of you ever have something like this happen, I would tell you. So I thought, well, this is odd. So I woke up in the morning because I said maybe I wasn't dreaming because this is that same first sensation I had last time. Woke up about 7 o'clock in the morning and I didn't feel good. And I got up to go to the bathroom and I'm in the bathroom and I realized, oh my gosh, something's wrong. I do not feel good. I had this terrible pain in my lower right back, right where your back kidney is. Terrible pain. Then I started sweating, just sweat pouring off of me. And then I got nauseous. And I knocked on the wall so Mark could hear. And I said, can you please empty this trash can? I think I might throw up. Well, girlfriends, at 2:15, the situation finally resolved. But from 7 a.m. to 2:15 p.m., I had the worst day of my life. I have had gallstones before. And I used to have gallbladder attacks, where you get a stone caught in the duct. And I thought that was bad. This was the worst thing I've ever gone through in my life. Yes, Cheryl, yes. I looked it all up. I've talked to my doctor. I'm going to go have an ultrasound of my kidneys. But evidently, hi, Maureen Colas, it's so good to see you. I had an acute, totally abrupted, no, not abrupted, a totally blocked off ureter right below my kidney. And boy, is that awful. It's hard to describe. I told Mark my back hurt, but it was more than that. It was just a general feeling of being sick as a dog. And I mean, sweat is pouring off of me. I must have thrown up 5 times till you just are having dry heaves. And I would get up, go to the bathroom, then try to go back to bed. And there was no position that was comfortable. And I was so sick. It was like I couldn't even open my eyes. And Mark is like, what's wrong? And I said, I think there's something wrong. Like, I thought it might be a kidney stone because I told him where my back was hurting. And I said, I just could hardly talk. And so he looked it up on the computer and he brought me water. You got to drink water. He tried to get me to take some Advil. I threw it right back up. I was one sick puppy. He said, Deb, I would come in and you were just moaning. And I couldn't get comfortable. It was miserable. I was so tired. It's like if I could just get to sleep. So finally he came in about 1:30 because, I am just in agony. And I thought, I was kind of thinking, I know I should go to the doctor or the hospital, but I can't deal with it right now. I just can't. I've got to just, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to move. I was so miserable. So he found a stronger pain pill that I had left over from my last surgery. He said, try to take this, hon. Try to take this. So I took it. I took some water. Luckily, I was able to keep it down. Well, because of that, I must have drifted off to sleep. I woke up at 2:15 with the feeling of a hot, tiny marble wiggling through my stomach. That's the best way I can describe it. And it woke me up and I'm like, oh, whoa, I just felt this hot, tiny marble wiggle through my stomach. So I got up and I went to the bathroom. And all of a sudden, all those symptoms started fading away. So I wrote down everything that happened in a note to my doctor. And she said, yep, it sounds like you had a kidney stone. And I didn't realize that blocking up that right kidney, because I figured it's my right kidney, that's where I had the pain, it caused all of these other horrible symptoms. I spent the rest of the day going to the bathroom like mad. That kidney was so happy to get that stone out of there. So anyway, I'm going to go next week and early in the week, and I'm going to have an ultrasound done of my kidney. She wants to make sure that it passed, and that because if the kidney at all stays blocked off for any period of time, it can cause all kinds of damage, and you don't want damage to the ureter, or the kidney can swell up. So anyway, girlfriends, I've never had a kidney stone. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know what it was. I didn't care, but all I knew when I all of a sudden realized, oh, that must have passed, I went back and laid in the bed and was kind of like, I think I feel better. I think I'm all better. Thank goodness. It was like I could see again. It was like, and I just laid there and I thought, I've got to tell Mark. I don't want him to worry, because, we didn't know what. Oh, my God, you should have seen me just perspiring and just dripping off my face. It was a little bit like having a heart attack, what I would imagine one is, and then having the worst cramps you've ever had. It was the weirdest thing. So I called him, and to be able to have him hear me, I had to call him loud. He came running back. What is it? I said, it's okay. It's all good now. It's all good. And I told him what happened. He was like, oh, my gosh. So, thank goodness it passed. I read that, if it had gone on much longer, I would have had to go into somewhere. But I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to be moved. I didn't want anything. So if you ever have something like that happen, please know what it is. And the best feeling in the world was that little pinball feeling down in my lower tummy. It was like, yes. So anyway, we'll see what happens with the ultrasound. She just wants to make sure there's no further blockage. And I was wondering, remember I told y'all I had 2 surgeries on my neck, and my parathyroids, which are 4 little tiny organs that are the size of a grain of rice. 2 of them, one on each side, had overgrown. And when it overgrows, it creates too much parathyroid hormone, and that can play havoc with your body. Well, one of the symptoms I saw for kidney stones, one of the big ones, was hyperparathyroidism, which I had for a good number of years until I realized you could get surgery and get it taken care of. So, oh yes, remember the middle of the back. I can remember during the middle of the night, it always seemed to be during the middle of the night, and just rocking, thinking, oh, I don't know what this is, but I wish it would stop. And then you have a gallbladder removed, takes care of that. So that kidney stone, it was something to do. I told him I bet you my blood pressure was up, because it's just like cutting off that kidney made me so sick. So it was awful. And so I came out yesterday afternoon, came out and sat on the couch, and Mark brought me anything I wanted. He was so happy I was better. He's never seen me that sick. And later, finally, about 7:30 at night, I had a little chicken soup and a couple little crackers, and I'm supposed to drink lots and lots of water. So remind me if you see me stop from drinking my water. But my goodness gracious, I tell you what, Alexis, remember this. Growing old is not for sissies. So anyway, so I slept about 11 hours last night. I was exhausted. It left me feeling weak as a kitten. And I don't know if that was from, I love chicken soup. It's good for anything that ails you, I tell you. But so I was a little shaky today, and I'm still a little tired. But that was worse than any labor pains I ever had, let me tell you. So the good news is, though, I'm feeling good today, except for being a little tired and a little weak. I'm feeling very good. No more pain or discomfort. And I've got my appointment to go in and have an ultrasound where they'll check and make sure there's no more stones left anywhere in the piping, as they say. And oh my goodness. So now I've had shingles, I've had gallstones, had my gallbladder removed. Now I've had kidney stones. Don't want my kidney removed. I mean, life is so much fun. You just never know. But Mark took such good care of me. I I was so out of it. I would have just laid there. I couldn't have taken care of myself. I was so sick. So I am so glad he was here, and I hope that never happens again. He said, well, there's this one treatment they can give for the stones where they break them up with ultrasonic sonic pounding on your lower back. I said, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. So anyway, oh, good, Grand. I can't wait to see it. So anyway, I hope you won't mind. I did get on my frame today, but I probably wasn't quite as fast as I'd like to be. And I'm so close. One more pass of the long arm, and I will have that quilt off. So, but now, since I didn't have time to get it off for tonight, I will take and put my binding on while it's on the frame. Have you ever heard of that? It is a pretty great way of putting your binding on instead of wrestling it through your machine. And that quilt turned out to be about 80 inches by 80 inches. The pattern said it was supposed to be 68 by 68, but I measured it. It was 78 at least. So by the time it's bound, it'll be about 80 inches. Oh, Deborah Donnell, you have cataract surgery. Well, I tell you what, have you had the other eye done yet? Because if you haven't had it done yet, they say it's real easy. Just do exactly what they say. Don't bend over. Don't lift anything. I'm going to have cataract surgery in a few years. But for right now, I'm just being careful wearing my sunglasses. See, Grand, when we were growing up, we didn't know to wear sunglasses on your eyes. So we get first eye. Okay. Well, treat yourself like the Queen of Sheba. Don't bend over. Don't pick up anything. And just, they say it is a breeze. Just follow the instructions. And they said you'll see better instantly. So I can't wait for you. Good job for you. Oh, I will be happy to do. In fact, you know what? I'll take the camera up when I go up tonight, and tomorrow I'll be putting the binding on it, and I'll show you how I do it. That's a great idea. Thank you, Annette. That's a great idea. So, but that's about it for me. Otherwise, I'm just taking it easy. But it's funny. I'm kind of spoiling myself today because I'm thinking, that was rough yesterday, and I'm still so glad I'm not hurting or nothing's wrong. Yay. You don't realize what a gift it is to feel good until you lose it. And then it's like, oh my God, this is the best life. I love my life. So tell me about Yana. Cheryl moved in a beautiful new apartment, and I love it because it's all for people above 55. So that's going to be nice. And hopefully she'll make some new friends, and maybe she'll introduce them to our group. So that would be nice. But she sent me pictures tonight. I just saw them tonight, and her place looks great. And she's moved in so easily. It's amazing. You've been drawing again. Oh, good job, Deborah. You're going to get a new sewing machine and a new embroidery machine. That'll be nice. And you know what? Having your cataracts done, you'll be able to see what you're doing. Because there are times I have to turn on the light extra bright, and I realize, you know what? When I do have to have the cataract surgery done, it's going to be great because your vision is so important. So, oh, good job for you. Well, you can tell us a little bit about them on here if you think anybody here might be interested. You know, what are they? Who are they? And I don't mind you telling us about them at all. And I'm excited you've been at camp. That is so nice. And how excited are we that we have the Biden-Harris ticket? I can't wait to get my bumper stickers. I'm going to put them everywhere. So, but I'm so happy for Cheryl Lemon for her moving to her new apartment. And she loved living with her daughter, but there were no daylight windows in the basement. And you know what? That would be so hard. I would have the problem too. So good for her. A Janome Continental 7. I love Janomes. Oh, and a Janome 550E. Okay, so if anybody's interested, look them up on the internet and you'll see what kind of machine it is. And you've got a great bundle deal. Whoa. Well, you tell us all about it, darling, because I think that's wonderful. You never know who's looking for a machine. And I think that is just brilliant. And you know what? People like me, we only buy second-hand machines because that's the price that's right for us. So that sounds great, darling. And then you would have to have them shipped. And I believe you are in Pennsylvania or New York. I'm trying to remember. My brain is not the sharpest thing tonight. So, Alexis, you doing some more embroidery on? Because I know that last time you were hoping to get back to it. You've been kind of busy. I think that's wonderful. Maine, okay. Okie dokie. Maine, that's right. You know what? I was thinking of two other people that live up that way, but for some reason, I had you a little further south. So if anybody's interested in her machines, make sure you give a holler to Deborah. They sound lovely. I love a Janome. Janomes and Jukies are my favorite machines. I'm sorry I'm looking down. I'm working on this quilting. Oh, good, Gran. Good job. Oh, you'll have to send pictures of your beaded embroidery. Yes, that's it, Deborah. Pat. Oh, gosh, she had a fancy last name. Pat and her sister, Kathleen, I think, are from Maine. Oh, good job. Oh, well, we love seeing any kind of pictures. I thought I would put this down a little bit so you can see why I'm looking down. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. And I'm sorry if for anybody that tuned in thinking they were going to learn more about art quilting, but we will get back to it, I promise. I made this necklace the other day at night when I don't feel like being on my sewing machine. I have been taking my cheap beads from Joanne Sales and Joanne Fabric Store when they have sales, and I've been making my necklaces. But otherwise, I've got some tomatoes ripe. Oh, I think I forgot to ask Mark to get bologna. I knew there was something on the list because I love nothing better than bologna and tomato sandwiches. But they have to be home ripened tomatoes. So maybe he'll have remembered it. I don't know. But I love bologna and tomato. The best. So is anybody sewing on something tonight? And I don't know if any of you watch Pat Sloan, but she has her cast off. You know, she fell and broke both of her wrists. Bologna and relish. Oh, that's neat. And she got her cast off because she fell and broke both her wrists. Now she has these special compression bandages but she has to be very careful how she moves them, and she cannot lift anything over a pound. I got the feeling that they want her to start using the bones before they're fully healed, kind of making them stronger, but not anything that's going to injure them again. Isn't she inspiring? Today, when I was on the frame, I had it on YouTube, and I did a Pat Sloan and Alex Anderson marathon, and it was great to listen to them while I was zipping through this baby quilt. I had the best time quilting the baby quilt. On the pinwheel blocks, I did the little loop from the flat side into the pointed side. Then I did ribbon candy in the rectangles. And then I outlined the border fabric that had the little animals riding bicycles. And what else? I'm trying to think. It was just, in the border, I made up my own quilting design. I did a little heart going this way, a little heart going that way, with a big heart in the middle. And then in between the hearts, I put a little curly cue. And so I thought that was cute. It was fun. It was my first ever unique quilting design. Nothing too exciting, but a baby Great Dane. Oh, I missed that. Who got a Great Dane? Oh, good for you, Alexis. You did get some good beads. Yay. Oh, you found a Great Dane, Diane. Oh, I'm so tickled. What color is she? That's so exciting. What color? Wow. At camp, Deborah made 2 aprons, cut out 3 more, made a valance for her new bathroom, and tons of blocks for 2 quilts, and even did a little wool embroidery. Oh, that sounds perfect. Don't you love it when everything falls in place and you just get so much done? That's terrific. Uh-oh. So what are you going to do now if they can't ship the puppy? How far away is it? My favorite dog I ever knew was a Harlequin Great Dane. When I saw one of those, I said, that's what I want one day. But the largest dog I've ever gotten was a Greyhound. That was about as large as I could do. When you have a motorhome, you realize big dogs take up lots of space. So what are you going to do about that puppy? Yeah, it's funny when yesterday Harris was announced. Last night I went on eBay to look for stickers. Oh, they're already up there. I mean, those people didn't miss. Whoever can make bumper stickers had a whole page of listings. So I said, yay. So I love these little pens. I bought the cheap generic version from eBay. And because I'm too cheap to spend the real money, and they work pretty good, so I'm happy. If I don't have those, I use hairpins. And because you know what? I'll tell you what, using straight pins was a pain. And I mean a pain. Because you'd get stuck with them, and they hurt. You missed 2 nights sleep. Oh, good. There you go, Cheryl. You got one for free. Woohoo! I just can't wait. I tell you what, though. Anybody, if you're planning on voting by mail, get your ballot in as soon as they will let you. Because there's shenanigans. I mean, somebody's come right out and said they're not going to help the post office because then that way they won't be able to do the mail-in ballots. And they've already, out of 9 big centers, they have removed the sorting machines. Why would you do that? So I think that, starting to look like we're living in a banana republic without the bananas. Oh, I saw this interesting show on when I was doing the sewing the blocks of the quilt together, and it was about this Chatham Hall in England. It's like the largest private house in England. And I'm trying to remember now the person's name, but one of the former dukes had built the largest glass house in the world. Sadly, it no longer stands. They tore it down after World War II, but they couldn't afford the amount of coal to keep it heated. But he invented the kind of banana that most of us eat today. So I thought that was really cool. There you go. I love it. I'll have to do that too. Good idea. Do whatever you can to get your vote. Mark said if we have to go in with a mask on and wait 10 hours, we're going to vote. Now, we've already asked for our ballots to be sent to us so we can vote by mail. And they start sending them in North Carolina September 4th. And I tell you what, the day we get them in the mail, the only thing I'm worried about, maybe y'all can know the answer to this. What if I mail them back and I don't know if my vote really got there? And so we're trying to decide between now and September, we'll figure out if we can safely vote by mail. So, goodness, it just makes me so mad. But, what kind of win is it if you have to cheat? That's what I say. What does that say about your party if cheating is the only way you try to get elected? Maybe you need to change your programs and policies. But somehow it just wouldn't feel as good to me if I cheated to win. So I would think we wouldn't want to be like Putin and cheat. But you just never know, do you? So anyway, we had a thunderstorm tonight and some rain. What is y'all's weather doing? I think we're going to have a cool off in a couple days. And tell me if you're sewing on something, tell me what you're sewing on. Oh, the backing. Thank you. I think I got this from backing from either got it from Pineapple Fabrics or Connecting Threads. And this is a Judy Niemeyer pattern. And I know you're going to ask me what it is, and I don't remember right now. But it was all done with paper piece, and I did a different layout than any that I saw in the patterns, and I think it worked out pretty good. The best part, all Jenny Beyer fabrics. You know how I feel about my Jenny Beyer. So, and I went ahead and bound it with black, since that goes really good with the outer border. One of the things I love is I fussy cut the stripe for inside this square. And I just love, it was a narrow border, part of the border print that I cut separate. So I sure was solid gray. Oh, is she considered a blue? Because usually when they're color like that's considered a blue, and that's really pretty. It's really special. When we would get a greyhound that had that special gray, we called it blue. So that's really neat. It would take 2 days there and 2 days back. Oh, this is a big country, isn't it? Goodness gracious. But we will be thinking about your puppy. And hoping it's soon that you'll get her. You just want to make sure that it's not too hot and she doesn't get damaged that way. Aw, I had a blue-gray. In fact, we used to call the cats Russian blues. And I had a blue-gray cat years ago. Aw, I bet you do miss her. Isn't it amazing how these pets, we just are so in love with them. They mean so much to us. So I'm just doing that little running stitch where you dip down, you run underneath your fabric for the backing, and then you just come up to take a little bite of the binding fabric, then you go right back down and run underneath again. And that way you are pretty much invisible. I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, let us know when that puppy gets here. But this has all been hand sewn. You see? Hopefully if I've done it right, you can't see any stitches. So that's one thing I enjoy. I enjoy about every stage of the quilting process. So I enjoy cutting it out least, but I do get excited to get it started. And but I love putting the binding on because it's when I usually get to sit down and watch television and relax and just enjoy that this is the final step. All that work is done. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, we would love to see a christening outfit. Oh, honey, it sounds beautiful. That is so sweet. That is just so sweet. State. But he kind of knew. He said she doesn't want to leave the place. And he was right. Although my new grandbabies, they're up in Maryland, and with this COVID, I can't even take a chance. Wouldn't it be awful if I somehow was exposed on the drive up? And I would not want to expose that new baby. My daughter said, Mom, I'll go look at the baby for us, and I'll go and have them hold it up to the window in their house. I said, oh, that would be wonderful. Because if I drove all that way, that's as close as I would be able to get is a window at their house. She still hasn't had that baby yet. So poor little thing. She's uncomfortable. She was due 3 days ago. And see, the Russell, he was a couple weeks early. So she's not gone to full term like this. And my first baby was 2 weeks late. I understand the frustration. But Cheryl, I can't wait to see that christening outfit. Cannot wait. Oh, yeah, that makes a big difference. He's too big to fit in the other. Aw. Oh, it'll be live streamed. Isn't that amazing? That's wonderful. We've had to get creative during all of this, haven't we? So we've had to get very creative. So what colors are you using, Alexis? What are the main colors of chromium? Because I know the other one was blue, and then one was purple. So I was wondering, what is this guy? Is he maybe a yellow, red? I'm not sure. I'm trying to kind of figure out by his name. So... Hi, Jody, dear heart. Hello, sweetie. I tell you what, I think Jody is my quilting soul sister. I've got names for a lot of people, but I told her one day I would love to sew with her and get some of her ideas. She's a person that inspires me, the things she comes up with. So, Jody, I don't know if you heard, but I had a kidney stone attack yesterday. And it felt like it was the biggest kidney stone in the world. But the worst part was that it got blocked, I guess, leaving the kidney. So my right kidney was not happy. And I was sick as a dog. So that's why we're just kind of sitting and hand sewing, and I'm just enjoying being alive and feeling good because I was one sick puppy. I've never been so sick. I remember laying there in between moaning and thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I have a high tolerance for pain. So when I say that, I mean it. Oh, it was horrible, Jody. It was horrible. I was throwing up. I was just sweat pouring off of me. I thought I was dying, let me tell you. Yes, I'm going to take very good care of myself. I'm going next week to have an ultrasound done of my kidneys. So she wants to make sure that it truly passed completely. Because if a kidney stone stays blocked up too long, it can damage the kidney. And I certainly don't want to take chances with that. But I had just been to the doctor the week before. But such is life, you know. I think my kidney said, let's make her day exciting. And it was. It truly was. It lasted from 7 a.m. until 2:15 p.m. I'll never forget that 2:15, because when I felt that funny, like a hot little marble zigzagging through my lower abdomen, I looked at the clock because I wanted to know. It's like, if this is what I think it is, I'm going to remember this time for the rest of my life. So I went to me to avoid, to keep from it was because I had parathyroid disease for a few years. I'm hoping I'm not going to have a new problem, but I wrote into my doctor and described, I think I wrote 2,000 words describing all of it, because I had just gone to see her last week, and I thought, if she wants to see me, I'll go in, but maybe I can describe it so well. She just wants to make sure I don't have a kidney infection, but in fact, my temperature was low. It was 97.3. So I said, I don't think I have an infection. So that was just an interesting thing to have happen. Hi, Teresa Jukovic. Hi, sweet. So I told Mark, because I've almost got the baby's quilt off the frame. I've got one more pass, and then I'll have it off. But I was asked by, who asked me now? I know I can see her name in my head, but I can't get to it. My Rolodex still spins, but sometimes I miss them. It's like I can't quite see it. Annette asked me to film sewing the binding onto the quilt while it's still on the frame. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And but then I've got my binding made. I'll sew it on the frame, but I still take it off and do it by hand for the back side. Because you know what? I'm sorry. I have tried. It's really hard for me to sew it on by machine, because it sometimes misses it, on the other side and all that. I don't know. I'm not a good enough seamstress to do the whole binding, but at least I can put the first part on, then just flip it over, sew it on by hand while I rest. So that's not bad. So Miss Teresa, how are you, Puddin' Pie? Looks like you're in a great mood. We're thrilled for you. And just thrilled. Mark went to the grocery store tonight, got his gloves and his mask, and went out into the real world. As scary as that is, I write up the list, and he goes out and slays the dragon for us. So hopefully we've got some more. I know he got me some plums and peaches and bananas, and I still have a watermelon. So hopefully I can eat that now that I'm trying to be gentle to my kidneys. You got some good news. Tell me. Oh, honey. Oh, what great news. What great news. I don't know if y'all remember seeing Jody's quilt, the one she did where you had to do a self-portrait, and she put polka dots because they had found some little skin cancer places on her face. I was telling y'all earlier, we didn't know about sunglasses or sunscreen when we were little. And so she had to put special chemo medicine on it, and it worked. Yay. Yay. Way to go. That's so much better than having to have them, taken off. So, I'm so proud for you. Yay. I love good news. And y'all, Sunday, I'm going to show you, if Cheryl says it's okay, I'm going to show you pictures of her new apartment. And I think she's going to love it. And she's got this great big TV. You should see it. I mean, it's a big thing. So, but she's living in a retirement apartment. So that's nice. Nasty stuff. Yes. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, honey, I'm just so happy for you, Miss Jody. I was telling people that today, since I was on my frame, my long arm frame, and when I say long arm, it's 16 inches. And it's a stretched Janome. It was a Janome 1600 that they stretched to be 16 inches. This was back in the early days, the cowboys out there inventing these new long arm machines for the home audience. And it's one of the early ones, and I love it. It's doing so good now. I just have had to realize Laura Rylander's back. Hello, Laura. This is great. So great to see you again. So great to see you again. And if we have seen your name, when I notice your name, and I know you've been here a couple times, send me if you would like to join our Groups IO. That way we can chat every day, share free patterns, share photos of all of our work and our grandkids, whatever means something to us. But you could send me, if I have mentioned your name and I've seen you at least 2 times, let me know. But let me see, Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. If you send me an email to that, it's like a Groups IO is like when they used to have the Yahoo groups, but Yahoo kind of stopped supporting their groups. So we switched over to a place called Groups IO. It's wonderful. You can put as many photos as you want on there. So people who join our group, they can have their own photo album and show us all the stuff that means something to them. So if you send me an email to that, I can send you an invitation. So I just always like to make sure I recognize the person's name who'd like to join our group. And that way, we are such a great community group. And that way we can feel safe to talk, about things going on in our life. And we know that it's a warm, loving, safe place there. So that is terrific. I mean, most of these places do pretty good. You'll only have a problem once in a while, but I want people to feel like it's like their own personal community center. And so you come in, you sit down, pull up a chair, and we chat. So we would love to have you as part of our group. So if you come on and peek in, but usually don't say hi, there's an incentive for saying hi, because that way we can invite you. So that's for anybody. If I have seen your name twice, that would be wonderful. So, and what I'm working on is this Judy Niemeyer quilt that I did last September. I took a class from a certified teacher named Lucille Amos. I used all Jenny Beyer fabrics, and it was paper pieced, and it went together very, very nicely. So, hi, Lucille. If she ever turns past here, it was a wonderful class, and she's an excellent teacher, so it was well worth it. And tonight, as I said, I had a kidney stone attack me yesterday, and so tonight I'm just taking it easy. It was a rough day. It was an absolutely rough day, but I'm feeling so much better. I'm actually starting to feel hungry. It was so funny. Mark would come in and say, it says on the computer, you have to drink water. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't bear it. I mean, just the thought of water sounded horrible. My stomach was going to throw up again. So, in fact, I'll drink some more now. But it's just fun, I think sometimes growing older it's a sport of its own. And then your new job is going to doctor's appointments. I mean, there we go. Oh, I loved it. I love it. Oh, you retired Friday? Oh, Yeah, I didn't know I was going to have a kidney stone until it attacked me. So it that was interesting, let me tell you. I've never been so sick in all my life. So the main problem I told them was the fact that it blocked off my kidney. If it had been lower down, well, I guess no matter, until it's out of that main piping, until it's in your bladder, it's not good for your kidney. My kidney was not happy. I hate, okay, you know how I tell y'all I'm cheap, frugal? That's, pardon me, I'm frugal with my time also. Because I'm sorry, 4 inches of thread, go ahead and cut it and put a new one on. But I go too far, and then it slips off the needle. And now, instead, I didn't want to take the time to rethread my needle. So now I have to try to rethread it so I can get the knot put and bury the knot. So I didn't really save much in the way of time. Yes, Laura, let me tell you, if it hadn't have passed when it did, I knew at some point I either needed to call 911 or get myself into the car and be taken to the emergency room because it was horrible. I've never felt so ill in my whole life. Okay, so now I rethreaded it, and I'm going to just lock this one stitch down because that was a half a stitch. And then I will come up, oops, and I'm going to make a couple little knots. And I'm not going to make them too tight up to the area because I want these knots to then be buried inside here. And it just so happened that my two knots form beside each other, but not on top of each other. So let me show you this. Oh, very good idea. Yeah, and, Mark said he saw the unsweetened lemonade. So he got me some Simply Lemonade, low calorie. And he said that's supposed to help too. So yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. So now see how it's right on top of here. And the knot is a little 1/8 of an inch away. So what I'm going to do is take the thread and go under and in away from the edge. So it won't show. And then I'm going to run this through and tug until I hear or feel that knot pop. Whoops, hold on. That knot pop in there. There it is. All right. So now I can take and nip this off and thread it again and start again. So, yeah, so Mark got me some lemonade. I love that Simply Lemonade because it's unfrozen real lemons, and since I'm diabetic, I get the kind that's only 15 calories, I think. So I don't really like using artificial sweeteners, but it's kind of the best choice for me. So I'm using right now. Oh, take care, Annette. I will tape the sewing of the binding on the quilt on the frame. This is that box I made from my last travel, and I still enjoy this thing. So I just used a glue gun, and I used foam core board, and then I covered it with fabric. Easy, easy, easy. And I didn't even bother to measure anything. I just eyeballed it and cut it. And you can tell, but you know what? It works just as good. And I was supposed to be packing the last bit of my suitcase, and instead I decided to make this, so I was kind of in a hurry, you know? Dora, hi, honey. Finished 2 tote bags. Good job, Dora. Way to go, Dora. Dora's our quilter who makes dragon and Celtic quilts. And she belongs, it's kind of like the Black Watch. She belongs to a group who have relatives that were Scottish clans people. And so I just love it. I told Mark, I love how many wonderful things there are in this world for people to be able to enjoy as a hobby, as a way of life. I think it's just wonderful. So, whatever you choose to do, Comic Con, whatever, enjoy it because you know what? We work hard and then we deserve to play hard. That's one thing I always told my kids. In our family, we always worked hard, but we played hard too. So, and it's your life. And you know what? You go around one time, so make it a good one. Well, it's so good seeing you, Miss Dora. It is great to see you. Yeah, we're just kind of having a relaxed chat and so tonight. And then I know I need to get back. I have been really lax about getting started on a new art quilt. And y'all deserve to have to come here and have me ready to teach you something new. So I will get back to it. But sometimes life just throws you a little curveball. So we have about 5 more minutes to sit and chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything that you want to know about. And like I said, sorry, we're just doing a little sew and chat. When you put pictures in your album, do y'all see them? We saw your dragon ones, I think. I will have to check. I haven't been on the site much because I have been a demon about getting my grandson's quilt done and trying so hard to, if I don't get it there before he's born, at least to get it when he comes home from the hospital. So that is my goal. And I think she's going to have a 10-pound baby. I truly, truly do. So we'll see how she does. She was starting to worry, what if I have to have a C-section? So I had to have C-sections. My daughter did. We said, don't even worry about it. Get them to give you good drugs. So the best thing they did for me when I had my last C-section, they put morphine in the spinal. They put your medicine in through a little tube. What is it called? There's a name for it. But they put a blossom. Don't scratch the rug. But they put morphine in it, so I was pain-free for 24 hours, which is great. That solved all the problems because that way you can get up and walk around and not feel all sore. So much better for when that medicine wears off if you've gotten up and walked around a few times. So epidural. Thank you, Miss Laura. Thank you. Oh, yeah, we would absolutely love to see all the pictures you'd like to show. So, and that's what I love about Groups.io because you can have your own album and put in whatever picture you want. Now, this coming Sunday, we're going to do another part of the journal making because there were just so many techniques that I wanted to try. So we're going to keep working on the journal. And then after that, it'll be time for me to start a brand new project for our Sundays. If you have any certain projects you'd like to see done, a pattern that you'd like to see me make, just let me know. And you have my email, that ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And give me suggestions and ideas. I'm always excited to get that. So, yes. Okay, wonderful. It's usually a good thing to let people know because I don't know if they, we're all so busy that I don't know if they remember. Oh, thank you, Miss Jody. I tell you what, Mark was so happy. If they love you when you get better and they're like, oh, thank God. But he kept, because, he works from home now, at least through January. He works for Pepsi, and they've said, stay home till at least January. So he was working in the dining room at his job, running back to check on me, and he was awfully happy to see me well again. And I can only understand. I mean, I can't imagine what I'd have done if he was so sick. So, oh, you have a landscape quilt in your head. Well, if you ever need any help drawing it out, I'll be glad to help you. You just have to describe it really good. But I am always glad to help anybody work up a drawing, anything like that. If it'll help get you over that hump, I will do it. I also like to take pictures of components of whatever landscape I'm going to be doing, because let me tell you what, it's always wonderful to have a photo that you can work from, because you can check it. You can sit while you're doing it and look at the photo for reference. So to me, that's really, really, really important. So thank you. He was, oh my God, he was so good. He was really worried about me. And so he was very good. Well, let me see. How far did I get? Well, I did better than I thought. I thought, how much are you really going to be able to sew? Or are you just going to be talking? So any questions before we go? I haven't had dinner yet. So it's now 8:30 where I am, and I'm getting a little hungry. Or what do they say? A little peckish. So anyway, and if you watch Pat Sloan, you'll see she got her cast off, but she still has to be careful. Can't pick up anything a pound or more. And her flexibility is still limited, but I think that she's doing remarkably well. And then I watched Alex Anderson, and she's so cute. Maybe that's where I got the idea. She just tells you the good, bad, and ugly about her life, and it just makes you love her all the more. She was talking about this week how she's been really focused, and she's so excited. But then her husband ran in and said, Alex, something's on fire. And she had put chicken on to simmer, and it stayed on so long it boiled all the water out of it and burned. So I got so tickled, because I thought, oh my gosh, girlfriend, I have done that before. I'm not the only one who does that. So she's just delightful, and she's giving so much to all of us, doing all of her live streams. So, all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and bury this needle and say goodbye. Deborah, take good care with your cataract surgery, and just follow their instructions completely. And I know you'll do great. And boy, you'll be seeing so good when it's done. So, I know. I learned so much from Simply Quilts. I remember that. That was so much fun. All right, y'all take care of yourselves too. I will be back here Sunday afternoon. I'm going to drink plenty of lemonade. Get my pH better in my kidneys there. But take good care. Dora, it was a pleasure to see you again. Dora belongs to our group, SIO. So, in fact, just about all the names here do. So once I see you, and I know I'm familiar with your name, we'd love to invite you to join our group. Take care. Have a great week. And, I will come on to the group and tell you when little Donato is here. Little Donnie, as soon as he comes, I will tell y'all. I'm so excited. Take care. And Laura, we hope you join us. Take good care, everybody. Y'all are the best. You keep me going. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, you guys. You're the best.